Our goal has been to electrify the buses. There are 500,000 school buses on the road, but less than 2% of them are electrified. It's a $50 billion market. A few years back, 2013-14, I was working at eBay, and I was having this challenge of how do you pick up and drop off your children while you're still at work. Interestingly, my mom, who was in India 30 years before that, had left her job as an educator because of exact same challenge. And it was an aha moment for me that nothing has changed in so many years. Here I am sitting in Silicon Valley facing the same exact problem. This problem is universal, this problem is generational, and why nothing has been done using technology. And that curiosity and the pain that I was going through inspired me to start Zum. So Zum is working at disrupting the largest mass transit system in the country, which is student transportation. It's a $50 billion market. 27 million kids commute twice daily. Even on the second largest mass transit system, airlines, only 9 million people travel on a given day. And it's an essential service for schools and school districts. We have been disrupting this area using technology, and our goal has been to electrify the buses. There are 500,000 school buses on the road, but less than 2% of them are electrified. Recently, Oakland Unified, which became the first district in the country to not only be fully electric, but the unique thing is that all the 74 buses are bi-directionally charged. And what that means is actually school buses are the ideal assets to be electrified. They have a very predictable local commute pattern. When they are not used for transportation in the evenings, so they can be brought back to the yard and plugged back into the grid to give energy back to the grid. So we have enabled this entire playbook and ecosystem live, starting in the August of 2024, back to school. What that means is there's a clean and sustainable transportation for children, but at the same time, we provide grid resiliency in this area. In just first 5 days of going live, we provided 1.9 megawatt power back to the grid. Our goal is 2.1 gigawatt hours in the entire year, which can actually power hundreds of homes in Oakland. So the price of the electric bus is 2 to 3 times more than the traditional diesel buses, even though the price is coming down with the falling battery prices. But still, we are at the stage in the cycle where the price is still not at the par with the diesel buses. We have worked on a couple of things. In the short run, we are making use of grants, both from the state level and the federal level, to bring the cost down. And the second thing is we are developing this V2G infrastructure, bi-directionally charging infrastructure. By doing that, we are able to sell the excess capacity which is there in the school buses left at the end of the day to the grid. And that also provides revenue to bring the cost of the entire electrification down and make it sustainable. We believe the playbook that we have implemented at Oakland can be easily scaled to any district across the country. The beauty of this business model of Zum was right from the beginning, electrification was a second act for us. In the first act, the entire student transportation is an 80-year-old industry, highly antiquated, with the use of no technology. So in the first phase, we were always digitizing that and making that system more efficient, modern, transparent, and winning very large contracts from the districts. Our contracts are tens of millions of dollars, multiple years, anywhere from 5 to 10 years. By having that foundation, it has allowed us to now electrify that infrastructure because those contracts are in place, and we have the running revenue that's coming by providing the transportation that allows us to do these kind of projects of electrification. So my first thing is to find a business model that's sustainable, that has revenue and that provides the revenue in a faster way, because given the market condition, all the investors want revenue, they want profitability. And a second thing is the narrative and the impact is super critical. As we were raising fund at this point, Zum is a post Series E company, late stage growth, GIC led our last round. To me, the narrative and the metrics are super critical part of the fundraise, and bringing the investors along and making sure that they are part of it is also super critical. The third way is there are always state grants and other type of grants available which companies can make use of to fill the gap and continue to survive and thrive. For us, the challenge is as we continue to scale, on the surface of it, our service is super simple. Anybody in America can understand because pretty much everybody has taken the yellow school bus as a parent for their children or as children themselves when they were little. So the story is very understandable, the service is very simple, but behind the scene for scaling, there are many components that come together, including the financing of the infrastructure, digitization of the entire infrastructure, all of those areas. And for us, since we are disrupting a very old 80-year-old industry, continuously making changes in different parts. As we grow, we find out, oh, this area now affects us, which we never thought about at a certain point. So as we go across the country, it is about continuing to disrupt and continuing to make sure that the industry is in alignment with the modern way of doing things. And since Zum is a pioneer in it, that naturally means that we are the first ones to face the challenge and ensure that they are taken away. My thesis is climate change is inevitable, so electrification is the way to go. And I'm a strong believer on that point. So my dream would be all 27 million kids across the country are traveling on all electric infrastructure in the next few years. And not only they are having clean and sustainable rides, this infrastructure, which is like a very large mobile battery, is also used to provide the grid resilience. As you know, with electrification, our grid is not ready. Our grid is not ready to provide that kind of charging. Just in our local area in Northern California, the electricity utility wants to subscribe 3 million electric vehicles so that they can get the energy back. So this kind of infrastructure where you're not only providing the electric vehicles but also providing charging back to the grid would be pretty critical. For me, the number one lesson I would say is the narrative is the strategy of the company. If you nail the narrative at different point of time, you can align all stakeholders, whether it's investors, whether it's your employees and team, whether it is your third-party people who are working across it. And for Zum, the narrative evolved over the period of time from being the consumer focused to being focused on the districts to being focused on electrification. And one thing we have always done is we've been very clear about our North Star and what the narrative is. And I would say that's one strategy I would advise all leaders to use. It's given to you, and it really allows you to quickly align all the stakeholders and bring the maximum impact.